Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com, alongside my tag team partner in podcasting, the man made in the USA, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Oh, good morning. If we can get through today's podcast without almost crying like Dolph Ziggler last night, we'll be good.
Okay. Is that where you want? That was what I called the video. The video I called Dolph Ziggler returns to WWE SmackDown, attacks Kofi Kingston.
What a return. What a promo after the return.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Dolph guy. I think more so than you.
You definitely are, but he had me last night, and I'll start by saying that I didn't think it was possible after Raw on Monday night, but SmackDown wins the week for me.
Oh, disagree. A big disagree.
The SmackDown doesn't just win the week, but I think it's one of the best SmackDowns I've seen for months and months and months. Like, I absolutely loved SmackDown from beginning to end. Like, I loved it. I loved it.
Are you doing a bit?
No, I'm really not. Like, I wrote down the promo that started the whole thing off, with New Day coming out and introducing Big E, and then it not being Big E, and then they had me legit laughing, like, why are your knees so ashy? And they get rid of them, and then they bring out the real Big E, and it gets a huge pop. Then they go into the ring, and they've got all the presents lined up and everything, and then Kevin Owens comes out to ruin it, and Sami Zayn comes out. Kevin Owens is disgusted, and Sami cuts a great promo, and then Xavier Woods starts honking in the middle of it. I'm laughing out loud. And I wrote down that that's one of my favorite promos of the year. That was an amazing way to start. Then you go right into R-Truth, and they're looking for him. Boy, I do love that title and what they were doing with it last night. They had so much fun with it. So the stuff with R-Truth and Carmella, all the stuff with the New Day. Then you get an Andrade and
Mustafa Ali.
Ali match. No Mustafa, pal. Just Ali. There's only one name now. Which was really, really good. And then you get to back to the 24/7 title. Like, they're really weaving that in. And then they don't make you wait long at all. And they bring Sami Zayn out. And now you've got a match with Kofi. And now Kofi comes out serious because Big E got hurt. Because it was Owens. Of course it was Owens. And that was an awesome match. And then Paul Heyman comes out. And now we're teasing this. And we never stop moving, pal. And then Dolph Ziggler, holy hell, beats him up, and he's got him like this, and he's like pulling on him, and with the chair, and I'm not working here.
Okay.
Allison started to cry. She thought he killed him. She thought he killed Kofi Kingston with the chair. I'm trying to get him to bed, and she's in tears.
All right, this is something you do very well.
That first hour never stopped going.
I guess I just didn't have that enjoyment. Maybe I was winded after what had already been, 4 hours on Sunday, 3 hours the day before. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in as much of a wrestling mood.
They did a very good job, I thought, of getting everybody's stories in without being too overbearing. Because it didn't even start with the New Day stuff. It really started with like a quick Elias and Shane McMahon thing. Just get 30 seconds, set that up. We're setting that up now. We've got that match coming later. And then into the New Day stuff. And they weave that main event story the whole way through. And I thought they paid it off a little early. But then Dolph comes back out later to pay it off again. And I even thought the Becky Lynch and Bayley tag match, that felt more like filler, but it moved both stories ahead for Charlotte and Bayley.
I guess I thought a lot of the in-ring was filler to me. I
liked it.
I really only felt a lot from Dolph, from his attack on Kofi to his promo to end the night. I believe was that the last thing was that what they closed with? The Ziggler promo?
Didn't they close with Reigns?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think either like the Reigns stuff is not exciting to me. But
it wasn't bad. I thought it was well done. I thought everything was well done last night.
Yeah, I mean, hearing you describe it, it does sound tough to counter that. You were so impassioned and not wrong with anything that you said.
You thought I was working a bit. I'm not.
At first I was coming from such a different place that I was surprised. I thought we were just gonna be like SmackDown was the real bore fest last night, except for Dolph Ziggler coming back.
Because it's not just Dolph Ziggler that makes that whole thing really, really incredible. WWE got stuck in here's Dick, see Dick run. Now Dick's going to build a house, and here he is building a house, and here's Dick painting a fence.
I'm hoping that with all this Dick talk, I'm worried about it turning into yesterday's show.
Oh, don't worry about it,
thank
pal.
you, thank you.
We know all about it. So, they're just very linear with their stories. And it seems like they're trying their best now to do more and spread out and branch out. And with New Day, they have so many opportunities to do that because you've got Heyman hanging over their head. You have Big E and Xavier Woods are going to have to do something eventually. Kofi is more serious now, and he's seeming legit. He's got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and now Dolph Ziggler breathing down his neck, all for legit reasons. I just love where it's going.
All right, so here, let me make a few concessions.
And Sami Zayn, loving him.
The storylines do seem a bit more well written, focused, and well executed.
Quicker. The pace is quicker.
Yeah. I'll actually go along with what you said because we haven't talked a whole lot about the 24/7 title. I know you mentioned it as a positive thing. Let me give it a compliment if you don't mind.
Please.
I thought that I thought for sure, I thought 100% would have bet my whole house on it. They were setting up for Carmella to get the 24/7 title last night from R-Truth.
Oh, and get the women involved. A little too soon to jump that shark, but.
Oh, no, I think you're going to, I mean, Mickie James is already saying she's coming after it on Twitter. I don't think it's too soon. I think that's about to happen here shortly, but I thought for sure with how much she was helping R-Truth, it was going to lead to a end of the night turn. I want the title and I take it from R-Truth kind of thing. And
sure.
that may still happen. And not only do we not get that, I was 100% sure we we're going to see at least one title change.
And we didn't. R-Truth is still holding it. I think
right.
He'll lose it, but he could lose it tonight because it's NXT. You never know. I know it's taped, but I don't read the results. I don't know.
I just wanted to say I thought that they did not take the predictable route, in my opinion. So kudos, my hat is off. And okay, so maybe you've taken me from it was a bad show to it was okay, but it wasn't as good as Raw.
I mean, what about the Dolph Ziggler Kofi thing? That attack felt like we know too much. But if you don't know too much about pro wrestling like that was really violent and intense, and what I like about wrestling. Like that was brutal. And I thought it was a great image at the end. Kofi said in the promo, "I'm walking out of here on my 2 feet." And he did. But man, it was hard.
Yeah, the stretcher job that led to, a walk-off did seem, a little reminiscent of like, Steve Austin walking out of SummerSlam 97 on his own. He had the refs and the executives helping him because he just legitimately got, a stinger or a concussion or whatever you want to call it. He broke his neck, essentially.
Broke his neck.
And he's turning down the help and he's walking out on his own. And, I was kind of wondering at first, why bring out a stretcher if you're not even if you're going to walk off it? But that was essentially the point was you can't keep Kofi down.
I don't need your help. I don't need your help. I expect him to get the win over Dolph in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if this is going to continue with a feud with Dolph because the only thing that's confusing to me about it is, so Kofi, who's Kofi really going to be in a primary story with? Is it going to be Kevin Owens, or is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn moving over to Big E and Xavier while Dolph handles Kofi? Is Dolph working with those guys? Paul Heyman showed up. I thought it was really, really interesting and cool how he did that. Although the fact that Dolph and Kofi are announced for Saudi Arabia now tells me what the announcement will be on Monday.
What do you think the announcement will be?
That Brock's going after Seth Rollins.
Why are you so sure that Brock is cashing in at the greatest thing?
I guess I'm taking what the WWE's given me, and the WWE keeps saying, and Paul Heyman keeps saying, like he said at the end of Raw, we're going to be here next week, and we're going to tell you which one of you we're going after. And so they did it again last night. They said, well, we'll have to wait till Monday. Paul Heyman said they're going to make the announcement as to who they're going after. So, I mean, they might not, but they keep telling me they're going to make the announcement. So I know it's WWE, but I'm just going to believe what they're telling me. And they're telling me that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar might not be cashing in, but they're definitely going to let us know what their focus is. And I think it'll be Seth.
So let me ask you this. Let's assume we've got Seth and Lesnar, which I agree is going to happen. We've got is Kofi and Dolph official?
Yes.
We've got Kofi and Dolph, which will be great in my opinion.
Yeah, great match.
There was a third one. Oh, you have Roman and Shane, I think, don't you?
Roman and Shane with, I think, Drew McIntyre, or nobody in Shane's corner. You have Randy Orton and Triple H. You have Goldberg and The Undertaker.
It's coming together this sounds like a pretty good house show to me.
It's an okay house show. Listen, I know what you're doing, and I know what you're trying to say, and you're right in this. They're going to have all the pageantry of a WrestleMania and the fireworks, and it's going to be incredible. And to that degree, it's not a house show. But from a booking standpoint, I promise you, Rob, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's just like at a house show. Nothing will happen. Everything that started when they woke up that morning, when they go to bed the next night, everything will have been the same. It'll be beautiful and amazing, and it won't be a house show production, but it will be a house show result. And I think that frustrates people because when you watch a pay-per-view, you want to see, those water cooler moments we talk about, a reason to see it.
Yeah, which is why I don't typically give them, grades or pay-per-views of the year or whatever.
Also, the 50-man battle royal, you left that out.
I was going to say, I was about to mention that, and these are all things you don't see at house shows. So I just hope that people keep that in mind when they do crap all over the Super Show.
I didn't crap all over. What was it, Crown Jewel? I don't think I crapped over. It was the greatest Royal Rumble. I hated it, but I went in with the wrong level of expectation.
That's true. I think everybody did. We didn't know what to. It was the first. Of these, whether you want to call them foreign or the Saudi Arabia shows. I don't think anyone knew what to expect.
Money grab at the expense of our morals show. We'll call it.
Money grab is a fun term for people who already have the network. The house show costs more money than the network. It's
a money grab, not from us, pal, from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I've noticed they distance themselves from those two words too. They've been using Jeddah. Yeah, exactly. Wrestling fans they're so dumb. They won't know it's Saudi Arabia.
We're inside. They'll think we're inside a Volkswagen. They won't know.
So, I just feel like it's actually kind of coming together, if you want my honest opinion. But you double it up with the pageantry of these big shows, the pyro, the beautiful sets, the outdoor stadium setting. Like, man, I'm kind of getting lit.
The board kings and princes sitting on recliners.
Whatever. I mean, how
bored, but they won't. You know what? I'll give credit where credit is due. You won't hear a what chant.
Hey, just do me a favor, and I'm going to do the same thing. Go into that show with an open mind. Everybody watching, because I know it's become this bone of contention for everybody on this show against me, and that's cool. But if it happens to be a good show, let's acknowledge it.
But if it happens to be a turd, let's acknowledge it.
Absolutely.
Turd. By the way, I do have high hopes going into it, and I shouldn't. I should have learned my lesson. I have high hopes that during this huge battle royal, we see like 8 24/7 title changes. Because they'll all be out there. Every mid-carder ever will be out there. So it'd be great if while the Battle Royal is happening, people were getting pinned.
In the past 2 or 3 years, how many pay-per-views was it safe to say nothing happened? A lot.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we liked it.
Well, sure. No, I totally get it. But to hold it to a different standard, I thought was a little strange.
So I'm wondering with the Dolph Ziggler thing, because it seemed like Kofi was somewhere else, and then they brought in Dolph Ziggler quickly for this. It could have used a little more build, I think, before we got to a pay-per-view match in 2 weeks. It feels like, remember the last time AJ Styles was wrestling with Daniel Bryan, and that was the story they were telling, and then Daniel said he wasn't going, so they quick crowbarred Samoa Joe in, and they did that, and then as soon as they came back, they went right back to Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles because that was the story they were telling.
Yes.
Do you think that they're just giving us Dolph Ziggler and Kofi quickly, and then after that, we're going back to Kevin Owens?
No, because Kevin is going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're doing here. I think they're moving Kevin Owens over to like Big E, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're really going, and that's a good feeling to have. You know,
yeah, I like it.
I don't know where they're going with a lot of this stuff.
I'm telling you, SmackDown was great last night.
Boy, this also makes me realize I think we get to do a predictions episode. Is it next week?
Next week.
Yeah, look at us go. By the way, I will not be able to watch. It's my family's coming in, not this coming weekend, but the following. They're staying for a week, and my birthday's on the 8th. The greatest battle royal or whatever is the 7th. So I'm probably not going to watch it until the 9th. So I'm going to be trying to avoid spoilers left and right.
We'll avoid spoilers. We're looking at you, Mike.
Mike?
It's on Mike. It's on Friday. It's on a Friday.
Yeah,
so
my birthday's Saturday, and my parents are leaving Saturday, I think.
It's bound to be a great pay-per-view because it's on a Friday. Unfortunately, you're going to watch it on a Sunday, so that'll hurt it for you.
It could. You never know. Or maybe I'll get some time to watch it that day. Who knows?
Stone Cold's going to win the Battle Royal.
Well, you know what? It makes it's going to come down to Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and CM Punk. I think that will be the final four.
I want to go back and watch that predictions episode. We know what the results were. We know what our reactions were after the fact. I hated it. You didn't hate it. And we fought forever, and we still go at it. It's
my favorite. But
I want to go back and watch the predictions episode for the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Do it.
Because I was more excited for that than you. I was more excited than anybody because I had big plans. I had Stone Cold winning the Royal Rumble. I was all excited that night.
It was a moment I treasure. I love when they're just real like this, and we have our opinions. And usually, it was so weird. It's so weird when I give a show a higher rating than you, let alone such a drastically higher rating.
You gave it like a B or an A, and I gave it an F.
It wasn't an A. It was a B, I think. A B something.
It was high. I gave it an F.
Well, Jerry doesn't give Ds. It's either A's or F's, you know, so that's all he can do. I was also thinking...
D's are for suckers. Speaking of D, let's talk about Raw.
Let's not. I wanted to mention. I kind of wanted to mention this on Monday's episode. 2019 as a whole for pay-per-views has every pay-per-view going back to December's TLC has been fantastic.
They've been good.
So kudos to WWE.
And I forgot to mention it. Well, I forgot to mention it yesterday. I wanted to clarify something. I talked about how confused I was when Mick Foley was talking about the third hour being more gritty and raw, and it sounded. He just spoke wrong. I think he misspoke because he was trying. It sounded like he was saying that the third hour people are really going to be fighting for this 24/7 belt, but they're fighting for that all the time. Did you notice what they did in the third hour of Raw?
I'm reading that they did stuff with the lights and they're trying to make the third hour a little different.
I noticed it. kind of. And now I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, like the house lights were different. It was just like old school, grittier. It was like Raw is War type stuff.
I got to be honest with you, it didn't jump out at me, but they do stuff like that all the time, I feel like. If they really want to do something different, they should find a way to make it pronounced. Like, for example, remember when, like, even if they made the third hour NXT, or like, I remember back in the Tough Enough days, people were saying that maybe the first hour of Raw would be Tough Enough. I would like something totally different, personally.
First hour could be NXT, maybe,
or the last, whatever,
or the last. I don't know. Do whatever you want to
do. But I don't think it's going to be anything.
But turning the lights off isn't going to do it.
No, not at all.
But it does tell me that they're trying, Rob. They really. I feel like they're throwing a bunch of stuff at a dartboard, seeing what sticks.
Yeah, kind of. And I appreciate them trying to do it, but I just hope they can execute it.
Yeah.
So. Anything else worth mentioning? You kind of gave us the run by run of SmackDown.
Yeah, I felt good about SmackDown. I feel like I gave it a better grade than you, but you didn't hate it.
No, you actually made my enjoyment a little bit more. I was probably just not in the place. We just got done doing all sorts of baby stuff, and I felt like it was a little bit of a chore to watch more wrestling this week. And maybe it was better than I gave it credit for.
Look at that. You're welcome, world. By the way, there's another positive to last night's show. I think we're finally done with Roman Reigns and Elias. I think that's over.
Maybe not. Let me ask you, though. What are people going to say if I pose the question, which show was better, Raw or SmackDown? Because I'm staying with Raw, and you seem pretty dead set on SmackDown.
I think people will probably. Raw had a lot of good stuff. I mean, it had the Brock stuff.
Yeah, all the 24/7 stuff was better on Raw.
It was,
and it was newsworthy on Raw.
But SmackDown had more Kofi that I thought was more real Kofi, more interesting New Day stuff. Big E's return, some really good matches. Although a match we didn't mention on Raw that was like it was a really great match. Ricochet and Cesaro. Put those guys together more. Holy cow, Cesaro with new music.
Cesaro with a new entrance, and also it had the Firefly Funhouse, which I don't remember seeing last night.
They didn't rehash it last night. Yeah, and the Firefly Funhouse was really cool, too. Listen, Raw was good. I think it's a toss-up. I just know that I loved SmackDown from front to back, and I was sitting at one point amazed. Like, right at the end of the Sami Zayn and Kofi Kingston match, I thought this is a pretty good SmackDown. But, it's going the way that SmackDowns normally go. And then they announced that Becky Lynch's match was coming up next, and I'm waiting for a commercial. And then they cut to Paul Heyman. And there's Paul Heyman. And then Dolph. And, I'm getting 7 more minutes of wrestling that I thought they were about to cut to a commercial, and I decided this is wrestling. I don't know what's going to happen. They've got my daughter crying. My son has finally put his phone down, and he's looking at the TV. This is wrestling.
All right, Jerry's making a hard play. Like I said, you convinced me. I needed convincing, and you did it. We're gonna ask you guys, what show did you like better this week? Are you with?
And
Rob
there was no Baron Corbin. No Baron Corbin on SmackDown. None.
All right, pal, you made your case. You're not wrong. Let's open it up to the audience. Thank you for your time today. I'm trying to find the song. I'm sorry. There we go.
Happy birthday, Daniel Bryan.
Happy birthday, Daniel Bryan.
Happy birthday, Scott Putski.
Scott Putski.
Also, happy birthday, Flying Brian Pillman.
Happy birthday, Flying Brian.
Happy birthday, Tracy Brooks. Now we're getting.
All right, let's just happy birthday, Flying Brian.
Happy birthday, Joe Coffey.
All right, hey, it's been a great week. We'll have some more episodes for you next week right here on Post to Post.
Happy birthday, Daniel Bryan. Don't get a concussion blowing out your candles.